Welcome, podcast listeners. Here is your host. It is me, Mr. BudgetPedalChap. It is episode number 193 of the Fret Talk podcast. You're here with me. You're also here with Lee. Say hi, Lee.
Hello, people.
Bonjour.
Hi, everyone. How are you? Guten Tag.
That's not how these ones work, unfortunately.
Here.
We can keep asking, but when it's not a live cast, unfortunately, they don't answer back. So we're just going to wave in a general direction to you lot. You'll hopefully feel that vibe. That's not a wave, damn it, Lee. Sorry, it's, like I say, it's episode number 193. We are edging ever closer to the fabled 200, and it's bringing into light the fact that we've been going for a damn long time. I'm kind of cool with that.
Unlike in bed.
Yeah, it's been getting shorter and shorter. Loving the early nights. How are we, Jed? You all right?
I'm all right, mate. Yeah, I'm actually feeling really good because I know I mentioned it before, but we've been getting our house ready to sell, and I've been putting off a lot of DIY stuff because I didn't want to do it, only to have to do it when we sold our house, because it's always been a buy to sell and move on to bigger, better things.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like the last month I've just not stopped, and the last few days I've managed to like just sit down and have an evening where I've not been painting, not been drilling, not been doing loads of really, really stupid things, and next week the kids go back to school. So yeah,
get in. I mean, that is the glory days, though, isn't it? Look, it's free childcare. Oh dear.
Yeah.
But yes. So it's kind of a load off then.
Yeah. It's nice to just be sitting here because this one's not a live stream, obviously, so I'm not having to mess around with doing lots of stuff online and like making sure that everyone's being answered and all that sort of thing. I've always said these ones are a little bit more relaxing.
They are, aren't they? It's with the live streams. It's very much like a duck, where you've got like the calm exterior on top, and then the feet are like pedaling like shit underneath the water. Whereas these ones, we're like a really lazy duck. It's just kind of floating.
Yeah, it's just a chat with your mates, isn't it?
It is, and
yeah,
that it's like I've said like many times when we've done these. It's a bit like therapy, but you don't have to pay for it, and it's just nice and simple and relaxing, and hopefully you guys who are listening as well, guys and girls, feel that too. You can come into the group. We'll just have a little chat.
Do you think we really have that many female listeners, if any? I would like to think so. I really want more women to be involved in the industry, and I really, really push for that on Pedalboards to do.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine we really appeal to many women, like in terms of our chat. Obviously, we are sex gods and all that sort of thing, but
I think you've just highlighted the reason why we don't get many female listeners. I'm not entirely sure of the figures, if I'm completely honest. But I think as an industry, I'm starting to see more and more female faces, which I, again, like yourself, am really really encouraged by. And there's some absolutely fantastic players who are coming through, kind of like the British like Instagram, like almost like an underground scene.
Yeah.
Sophie Burrell or Burrell. I don't know how she pronounces it, but I keep seeing her, and she's absolutely flipping fantastic. Like, she puts me to shame every time she picks up that instrument. And what makes it like really awesome, but it makes it like a little bit of a kick in the teeth, is like the look on her face when she's playing. It's just like, it's not like a smug, but it's just like, yeah, this is comfortable. This playing is is nice and easy. I'm like, shit, I wouldn't be able to do that even if I was full speed with the wind behind me.
I'm trying to work with people from all different backgrounds. So I've worked with this guy called Mordy, who's known as the autistic guitarist.
Yeah,
Have you seen Mordy?
Yeah, I know Mordy.
I think he lives in over Greece. In Israel.
Oh, is he Israeli?
Yeah, and he wrote a book on being an autistic guitarist and all these sort of things. So I've actually got it. Haven't read it yet, but he was like, yeah, make sure you read it over this weekend. I was like, looked at it and I'm like, that ain't gonna happen. It's fairly thick, and the pages are thin. So yeah, it was. I do love reading, but yeah, he's really nice. And there's other people who are like non-gender specific and these sort of things that I'm trying to, I work with, such as like Izzy Armstrong.
Okay.
You know Izzy?
I think we've had Izzy in the chats before.
Yeah, they're really cool. And it's just trying to. I don't give a damn where people come from, what people's sexual orientation is, or their gender and these sort of things. We're all musicians, and everyone's welcome. And as long as you're not a bellend. Yeah,
I think that's it, isn't it? It's it. My general rule is don't be a dick.
Yeah,
and that's not gender specific either. It's you can be a dick if you're a bloke or a lady or anywhere in between. If you're a dick, you're a dick. And if you're not, then you're sound. And those are the kind of people, like the kind of people who are doing it for the love, and who are just really excited and passionate about making music and about gear and all that stuff. Those are the kind of people that I want to be interacting with.
I'll expand on that a little bit more, because there's quite a lot of people out there that feel excluded from the groups and these sort of things because they're not passionate about it. They're not just looking out to make music. They just want to pick up a guitar and play a few chords.
Yeah.
And they're made to feel really bad by a lot of the industry. And I say industry, a lot of the what's the word? A lot of people. And community is the word I was looking for. And they shouldn't be, because why should we all be striving to be the next Joe Satriani? Or Stevie Ray Vaughan or whatever it is that tickles your fancy, when that's all they want to do is they just want to be able to play some Johnny Cash songs or something, and they should be respected just as much as the next person.
Yeah, and I think it's as long as you're having fun when you're doing it. It doesn't have to be monetized. It doesn't have to be like something that you're aspiring to make a career out of. It can just be that the guy or girl who picks up the guitar and wants to, like you say, wants to fuck about with delay pedals for half hour and make crazy sounds.
We were a bit earlier.
Yeah, if that's what makes you happy, then do it.
Yeah,
and that's what it's all about, isn't it? It's about like bringing a bit of joy to the world. God knows that there's enough like not joy at the moment.
Yeah, with like, I'm saying, oh yeah, every pedal needs MIDI, and you're saying, no, every pedal doesn't need MIDI. I don't want all that stuff. And I'm like, cool. Yeah, this works for you. This works for me. And it's it is like that, isn't it? You don't all have to be the same to get on. We're very different in our styles that we play and stuff like that. Although I do like play a bit of blues.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about it just before the start of the cast, that you were saying like, your go-to sound is like a cranked amp with like a distortion in front of it, getting those like big classic 80s fat guitar tones, like the Marshall amps modded, and
they were when I was younger. Yeah, for sure.
And I'd say like mine is very much subdued. Mine is like edge of breakup guitar tones where you can still hear the dynamics and the clarity of the guitar itself.
Whereas I'll stick a compressor in front of everything to kind of like narrow down those dynamics.
Yeah. And it's like both are completely valid choices for your guitar tone, and both work for the styles of music that we're wanting to make, and the things that make us happy. There's nothing that makes me smile more than getting a guitar tone which breathes really well, and I can just jam on some really kind of nice, tasty chord progressions and getting those like real dynamic, bluesy goodness out of it. And likewise for yourself and others, it will be a case of like just playing that massive power chord in front of a big, like, sustaining, gainy wall of sound. And that's what makes, if it makes you smile, it makes you smile, doesn't it? There's no right and wrong answer.
Nowadays, I'd say I'm more into the sort of how interesting can I make that sort of anthem stadium sort of sound, but how interesting can I make it? Because I've got this like real love of Muse and Queen, and those two bands they do that in a big way where they took this "I'm gonna rock your socks off" sort of thing, but they also managed to make it really, really interesting, with Brian May being technically very clever and Mercury obviously being very, very clever in the songwriting.
Yeah.
And then they added lots of like delays and these sort of things. And then obviously when you come onto Muse, you've got the synths and that sort of thing.
I think there's some crossover between Queen and Muse as well.
Huge amount. They are the modern day Queen. They really are. We do still have Queen, but they're not like writing songs, really, are they? Are they writing songs?
I think they might have released something with Adam Lambert. Yeah, I think they might have, but I know what you mean. It, like, even if they are releasing some music, it's not the kind of the heyday of Queen, is it? Like the Mercury days.
No. Whereas everything that Muse releases, because I'm a fan, I'm like, oh, this is great. No, that's not true. That's not true. There was one song on the last album on Simulation Theory that I really didn't like. It sounded like some boy band thing from the 90s, and I was not impressed.
Yeah. You're not a fan of the 90s boy bands?
No, I'll send you a link to the song so you can listen to it. You might, you'll see what I mean. It was, ugh. No, I didn't like it. But that kind of like brings me on to something that I've been doing recently. So this week, the Ultra Chap was released.
Yes.
Now, a lot of people knew about the Ultra Chap because there was a big cock up by a European distributor. When the Eventide, what's it called? Was it multi-tap?
No, what was it?
I've got it. It should be behind me, but I've packed it all away. All my amps and all my pedals and everything are packed away for photos at the house. Micro pitch, yes.
Micro pitch. There we go. Little brain fart moment there.
Yeah, guys, so many pedals. So when the micro pitch came out, the distributor, because what happened was Eventide sent both the pedals over and said, we're releasing this one here and this one here. And when they released the micro pitch, they were like, okay, we'll just put them both out. And then a few demo artists, such as Henning Pauly, released their videos as well.
Yeah, to keep ahead of the curve, but then it was a cock up.
So we've got both of them, obviously. Mikey's done a video of both of them. You can go and check that out now after you've listened to the podcast, obviously. But so on Pedalboards Today, we've got a demo of both of them from our Mikey. I've got both of the pedals as well. But it was a case of you can talk about this one, but you can't talk about that one.
Yeah.
And even though other people have released their demos, it was like, yeah, but you can't talk to anyone about it. There's an embargo on it. And I'm like, but what about that? What about... Yeah, so it's kind of, we're just going to pretend that doesn't exist, which is kind of funny. But what I want to do is just tell you what I've been doing with the Ultra Tap. So when you get the pedal, if I could just go like this, so just so you, my friend, can see, as we got with the last one, you see it's got these face plates that come off.
Oh yeah.
and each of them has a setting. So that will say Ultra Tap on it, where my little finger is there.
Yeah.
But then this one will say Glitch Trigger, which sounds dirty, I know. And it's got all the settings on it.
Yeah, it's got. So has the other one got like the alternative modes to it? Because each knob has got an alternative.
Yep, and that's also written on the pedal as well.
Okay, yeah.
But what these are the presets, and what they've done is, because the pedal has 5 presets, they've given you five little cardboard slot overs, if you like, or they just sit over the knobs and they sit perfectly on the face.
Yeah.
And the reason they've done that is so you can see what the settings are for the presets, so you can get a better understanding of how the pedal works. I think that's a really great idea. I really like that.
I mean, it's really like a real simple solution, but it works really well. I mean, because they could have easily done it in like a little manual, and that would have been okay. But this is like a real tactile way of doing it.
Yeah, and if you ever want to get back to those presets, so you change them, you know exactly how to do it.
Yeah,
which is nice. So, a couple of the things. Well, one of the things about the micro pitch and the and the Ultra Tap that's really nice is they are like studio tools. You can actually buy them and download them as studio tools, so like plugins.
Yeah.
But instead of being like in a rack and being really complicated, they're made much, much simpler. I know you've got 6 knobs on it, and then you've got an alternate button, so you've actually got like 12 knobs, which 12 knobs is quite a lot. Mm-hmm. And some of the controls at different points do different things, like very different things. However, it's really intuitive to use. Really, really intuitive to use. Like I was showing you earlier, the pre-delay, which is pretty straightforward. Turn it up, and the delay starts further down the road, so you can go da 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 da.
Yeah.
So you can get some really interesting patterns with that, because you can use your first note as part of the pattern and stuff like that. You can have it so and I really thought this was a lot of fun. You can have it so the delay speeds up, so it'll go da 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 da. Dun 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 dun. But yeah, you can also, I believe you can have it so it slows down as well. So it's so it sounds like a moped slowing down, won't it, outside your house?
Oh dear! I mean, you really sell it there.
Yeah.
So I mean, the pedal itself. I mean, we talked to Joe Cotsey, didn't we, about it?
Yes.
he mentioned a little bit about it.
It was after we did the live stream, wasn't it? We kind of stuck around and talked to him, and he was like, "Look at this." It was before he had that one. Yeah, it was like, oh, okay, and it's it's very, very interesting. There's lots you can do with it. Like, it does tremolo. It does. What else is that? It'll give you a really nice swell reverb that sounds like what's that reverb type that everyone goes mad for? I can't remember. Shimmer.
Yeah, there are quite shimmery sounds in it, and that really surprised me, because the fact is, it is a delay pedal, but you can make it sound reverby. You can make it sound like you say. You can make it almost sound like a little bit like the Game Changer Plus pedal, where it kind of swells in the notes. You can get it quite glitchy as well, so it's almost like an 8-bit sounding trail onto your note.
Well, the black hole that I've got, which is also the Eventide reverb, that has got a freeze button on it, so it does the same as the Plus pedal.
Yeah,
which is interesting. But yeah, this one in particular, it does get all that. I like how you can have these really drawn out, shimmery sort of reverbs, and then you can make it so they just cut off as well. So it's like shit, and it sounds almost like something a DJ would do. And it takes you back to like your 90s metal sort of thing, having a DJ in the set.
Oh dear, yeah.
DJ Lethal is rocking up your set.
I mean, I'm glad that we got over that phase in like as a rock community. I was never the biggest fan of that kind of new metal trope. But there are people out there who will be. There are people out there who that will be their absolute jam.
Every so often, I really, really need to listen to something like Papa Roach or something. Or I'm like, oh God, I really want to listen to that, or some Limp Bizkit or something. Because I had friends that weren't really into the rock and metal quite as much as me, and it would be the sort of thing that was acceptable for me to listen to with them.
Yeah, because it kind of has that crossover.
Yeah, it was either that or it was going to be Jay and Eminem because I really like that stuff as well. So it was, it was a bit of give and take. And my wife and I were listening to a lot of Eminem the other day, loads of it. Because when we were painting, we just like put an Eminem playlist on, and I was like, oh God, I know all of these. I can remember all the words. It's crazy.
It brings back high school memories.
Yeah, well, college, yeah.
Maybe for you, mate. Maybe for you.
Yeah. I think I was still in school when Slim Shady LP came out, but I remember the Marshall Mathers LP coming out when I was in my first year of college.
Damn, you old.
Oh man. Other than that, I've basically been packing my studio up. So all my pedals are in. I've got 5 huge boxes full of pedals, and I've still got pedals out.
It's like the end of an era, this is, isn't it?
Yeah.
The set has been dismantled almost.
Yeah, kind of. I've still got it so I can make the news videos, although our friend Lowell will be doing the news this week.
I would look forward to that because I really enjoyed his news takeover last time he did it.
Yeah.
So that was I do because he's almost kind of polar opposites of yourself. He's got this like really OTT or like we've mentioned before, like a 90s wrestler persona, and it tickles that kind of nostalgic itch for me as well.
Yeah, man, he's funny. He's a great guy to work with as well. You know, we work very closely together, and he is a great guy. You know, you give him, I just said to him, do you think you can cover the news this weekend? This Friday, I've got estate agent and stuff. He's like, yeah, man, and we just worked together on it and just prepared it all, and he's just going to go out and knock it out, and it's great. Just very straightforward. Here's what we need to do, and he's like, here's what I want you to do. 1, 2, 3, and we're done. And it's just nice just to work so easily with someone.
Indeed, and I'm going to give a shout out to his podcast as well because he's got a podcast that he's released recently, called "Man-Childing is Hard." I've listened to a few episodes of those, and they've been absolutely brilliant. So. I'm just going to give him a little shout out for that one.
Yeah. Should we do some crossover with him?
I think we should.
Yeah. Let's get Lowell on. We love our Lowell. Let's get him on.
Indeed. Well, I suppose we're about 25 minutes in. I should probably talk what I've been up to, and then we've got more from the instalment of Pedalboards Opinions News.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, so this week I have tackled the Jeds Peds Waste Man, which is so it almost springboards off where the Tube Screamer ends and goes all the way up to enough gain to be rocking with. Like it's more gain than I'd ever need. And so it's a very, very modified kind of Tube Screamer circuit. Still got a kind of mid-hump flavour to it, but it's a little bit more full range. But it's also got a clean blend on it as well, which is quite interesting. I don't get many clean blends in, and because of that, I felt inspired. I thought, you know who else has clean blends? Them 4-stringed fellas, the old bassy boys. So I thought I'll crack out my bass, which it managed to get through a video without breaking, because it's old. It needs a service. It definitely has seen better days. But
Can I ask you what it is?
It's a PV Millennium, I think.
Is that the Robbie Williams signature?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, very much so. He released it along with his hit single. Ooh. No, it's so it's they really they had like a quite prolific real kind of beginner's bass called the Milestone, which was just your standard. I think it had just a jazz pickup in it, and they were quite slim necks. And there were loads of kids around when I was in high school who had those because they were nice and easy to play. And then a little bit later than that, they released the Millennium, which was the same body shape but kind of uprated, like flame tops and a little bit nicer. Still kind of budget appropriate, but just a little bit better. And I ended up picking up one of them when I was playing bass in a band. I bought it from Sound Control when Sound Control was a thing. And when I went to buy it, I was looking at the kind of the bog standard Millennium, which was, I think it was like 150 quid. Just like your three knob, 2 humbucker, I think. Or it might have been like 2 jazz pickups. But it was a little bit more versatile than like the other stuff that you find at the price range. And when I asked the guy, "Oh, have you got this thing in any more colours?" Because I'm not quite feeling. I think it was like almost like a sunburst with a flame top. And he says, "Oh yeah, like I'll just pull out another couple from the back." And he bought out another 2 or 3 colours, and there was this like purple one. Like that looks really cool. I'll go for that. Later found out that this was the model up, which should have been about 250, 300 quid, and had like active preamp in it,
which is why it looked really cool.
Yeah. Like the purple was delicious. It still is. It's like this kind of like violet with a really quilty top. So it looks really nice. And I once I kind of upgraded from being a bassist in a band to being a guitarist, I just lent this bass out to like whoever, and I'd missed it for like 10 years pretty much, and then I got it back and it was in an absolute state.
Oh no, that's not fair.
No, but I couldn't track it back to like who had damaged it, and I was like, yeah, whatever, it's just my beta bass. So it's been a little bit of an unloved instrument since.
So what sort of stuff did you find yourself playing with it when you were demoing this Tube Screamer?
Right, so I think I started off with some kind of Sabbathy inspired drive tones, and then get that clean blend almost on the edge of where it's almost entirely clean. And I was getting that Motorhead Lemmy pushing a Marshall, yeah. So it was getting that really kind of grindy bass tone. I was loving that.
It does sound like he's playing like a some sort of heavy machinery, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. It's almost like being hit by a bass tone. And that was just Lemmy all the way through, and but that, like with the active preamp on it, pushing the front of this pedal, and then the clean blends just feathering on the gain, it just sounded fantastic. So yeah, it's the first no torque tone that has any bass guitar tones on it, which is quite nice.
Is it all bass, or is a guitar in it as well?
no, it's a mixture of the of guitar and of bass, because it is, like I say, it's a tube screamer pedal. So I'd be remiss not to give the guitar a go. So we've got a repeat, a continuation of Pedalboards opinions news, and we've got some absolutely exquisite questions today, which you've not been privy to. So
I've not. I might have seen them as I've gone through because I do look at the page regularly.
There you go.
Group. I just call my own group a page. That always annoys me when people do that. But yes,
you're not infallible. You do it yourself. So 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, Lee. What are we saying?
1.
Good choice. Good choice. I mean, they're all good, but this one's a good one. Right. So Sean Atkinson has said, I've condensed the wording here a little bit, but he's looking for a like recording bass guitar. He wants a pedal to go kind of DI in. He suggested the Sans amp, like the standard, the bass driver, and the MXR bass DI plus as kind of the starting point for where he wants to.
So jumping off point, I'm with you. Yeah, cool.
I mean, like, if he hadn't mentioned that, I would just, like, the first thing that had come to mind for me would be the Sans amp. There's been a lot of people who suggest the Sans amp, like guitarists and bassists alike, just say you get an absolutely wicked DI tone with it. I think Behringer do a clone of that, of the Sans amp, and it's supposed to be very, very good.
I've heard that. Yeah, I've people have said that's supposed to be like bang on. I don't like to promote Behringer copies because I don't know. There's just something a little bit distasteful about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I can understand.
A big company copying other companies, because Behringer are a part of World Music Group, aren't they? And they've got a lot of money behind them.
Yeah.
And they're kind of like just going, oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Let's clone that.
Yes,
that's a good idea. Let's clone that. And we can just knock it out cheaper because we're doing things cheaper, and, you know, our practices are, well, we pay our people less, and this, that, and the other. So it is questionable. What's your thought?
Yes, I think like if you've got the wherewithal to go for those, like he did mention the Sans amp and the bass, the MXR bass DI. If you've got the wherewithal to buy that, by all means, support the original creators of it rather than going for the cheaper alternative. If it's something like, for me, I wouldn't be spending money on a Sans amp because I'll be recording bass twice a year if I'm lucky.
Yeah, the argument to that, I suppose, is always going to be if you spent a bit more, maybe you do it more often. You might not. You might do that. That might be the intention, but it might not be the practice. Yeah,
I don't for me personally, I don't think there will ever be intention for me to be recording masses and masses of bass sounds. It's as and when, like, for example, like I've just done a no talk tone on a pedal, and it required a bass. Fortunately, the HX Stomper's got some pretty decent bass tones in it.
That's a good option because you get a lot more with it than just the DI out, don't you?
Yeah, very much so. I mean, what I ended up doing to get a decent bass tone out of it, I had a tiny little bit of reverb on, and me and Ollie absolutely slated bass reverb. But I put like a tiny little bit of plate reverb on to give the sense that it was in a room.
Yeah.
Just so it weren't like super flat sounding. I had some standard bass amp, and I just kept it standard because I'm not really all that au with my bass tones. So I literally just kept it standard. Sounded all right to me. Sounded like a bass. But I also had a compressor in front of it as well, because
that's what you do with a bass.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, it evened out my my shoddy fingerstyle technique as well.
I want to tell you something, actually.
Go on.
One of my very good mates, Den, he's the guy who helped me build this studio. I've mentioned it before. He came down recently because he's been helping with the DIY stuff that we've been doing. And he bought his Rickenbacker bass with him. It was like a brand new, full-on Rickenbacker bass, proper expensive one. God, it was lovely. It played like a dream. Usually when you play a bass, it's like playing an old classical guitar where you're like, trying to grab the strings like that far away. But it played like, it was like picking up like one of those wizard neck Ibanez's or something. It was so smooth, so lovely. It really was. I know this isn't what we were talking about. We were answering a question about Sans amps and these sort of things, but I had to tell you that. It was gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous.
It's on my bucket list is to try a Rickenbacker bass, because they are like iconic, and Lemmy has pretty much instilled it in me that I've got to try one.
I've got another bass a bass amp for you to suggest.
Go on, what are we saying?
The Ashdown Ant.
Okay, yeah. I mean that's a decent one. Are they like characterful, or are they? Because that's
apparently
it's like a power amp, isn't it? You can use it to power.
No, it's a full bass amp. It's not just the power amp. It is the amp itself. So you've got a DI out on it. You've got headphones out on it. You've got speaker outputs. It's got 3 buttons on it. So you've got a mute button, which is handy. You've got a shape button, so you can it addresses the mids, like so where the mids are going. I think it scoops it a little bit. And then you've got a button switch between passive and active. You've got a 3-band EQ on there, so bass, middle, and treble. So that it's definitely a full amp. And obviously you've got your output as well. So it's pretty simple. The way I've been looking at the Ashdown amp, because I've been eyeing this, I've been talking to Ashdown about this, is to me it looks like the bass amp for guitarists. So like you say, the guy's going to knock it out twice a year or something like that, but still want something decent. I'm looking now, and it's £246, which isn't a small amount of money, but it's not huge.
It's I think that's around the same price as the Sans amp, isn't it? They're a couple of £100.
I don't know. Honestly,
not
I
entirely
don't know. But I have not listened to their podcast for a while, but I know that Joe has been working for Ashdown. Or last time I heard, he was working with Ashdown.
Yeah,
and he's a guy who knows a lot about bass. So yeah,
he knows more about bass than I do. I can tell you that.
Yeah, for sure.
I've heard some good things about the dark glass stuff as well.
Well, we've got a bass Pedalboards of Doom. I don't know if you know. We've got a bass Pedalboards of Doom group, and it's much smaller than the main group. But the guys in there seem to slate the dark glass stuff. Now on Tonepedia, we've got a bunch of Sans amps. Dark glass stuff. So you can go there and test that out.
Yeah. So as I understand, the Sans amp stuff gives you more of a classic bass tone, whereas the dark glass stuff is more of a modern, like your modern metal bass tone.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, I went to PMT over in Essex with my very good friend Alex. He's a guitarist at heart, but he joined a metal band called Donkey something. And they're a clown metal band, and it's like clown death metal. It's an experience you have to experience at least once. But he's the bass player in there, and he always walks away with bleeding fingers and stuff. But we took a trip up there. We met up there, and we were trying out all the different stuff. And in the end, he walked away with one. I think it was a Dark Glass Omega. It was it sounded really good. We went through them, and that was the best sounding one for what he wanted to do.
I mean, that's cool. One other alternative I would suggest, if you are only doing DI recording, which he does say, I'm not interested in like powering a cab or anything. I just want a recording solution. Going into an interface and running some plugins.
Yeah, if you've got a high Z interface, a high Z input on your interface, then you should be all right.
Yeah, I think all the interfaces that I've had have had instrument level inputs.
Cool.
So that should be all right. And I think generally speaking, you're gonna get a plugin for less money than you'd get like a standalone unit for like a pedal format or like a
I dare say there's some free ones.
Yes, there is. Yeah, like the Ignite amp stuff. I've used that before, but again, it's very difficult to not make it sound modern and metal. It's got a very, very distinctive tone to it. I think it's designed so it does that, but for the bass tones that I've been after, I've not necessarily wanted a modern metal bass tone.
If you're able to change the impulse responses on it, maybe you can adjust that.
I've done that because that is literally just the Ignite amp is just the bass head, and I've ran it through because they do a speaker like an IR loader, and I've run it through like heart key bass cab impulse responses that I've got, and just still metal AF.
Cool.
I think don't two notes do, because they do Lee clean and Lee something or other, and I'm sure they do one called Le Bass.
I think you're right. I think they do, yeah. But do you think we've spent too much time talking about basses? Maybe everyone's going to stop listening. We've talked about bass quite a lot.
I'm quite proud of the fact that we've managed to speak more than 2 sentences about bass products.
Should we call this one All About the Bass? All about Le Bass. All about Le Bass.
Le Bass. Right, so I reckon we'll move on to... We'll do it systematically, because you started with one.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Number 2 here, Chris Jolly or Jolie. Best budget multi-mod pedal. So multi-modulation pedal, best budget one. And I think for budget, we'll go with my standard, which is under £100.
Oh.
Oh, right, I've got an absolute belter for this. I mean, you've got your standard stuff like the Moog Mod Factory, and there's a Behringer multi-mod thing. But I reckon I've got the absolute winner here.
I'm thinking second hand. What are you thinking?
Right, so like even if you're not going second hand, but definitely second hand, you'll be able to pick this up for about 40 quid, I reckon.
Zoom.
No. So the Line 6 M5, like the modulations in that are absolutely fantastic. They are from the 4 series stuff, like the DL4, the MD4, all of those kind of pedals that were kind of well regarded in their time, and are still kind of stacking up. So you've got all of the modulations from that. You've got all of the delays and the reverbs, which are absolutely still to this day bang on. So much so that the HX Stomp, the HX Effects, the Helix still incorporate them in. So the M5, I reckon, would be an absolute banging choice for this. Or if you want to push it to like multi-mod with switching, M9, you'll probably be able to pick that just over 100 used.
Do you know what I reckon?
What are you saying?
I reckon you're right. I don't think there's any other option really. All the other stuff isn't going to be anywhere near as good.
No, I mean, like the Moore Mod Factory, you can get away with some stuff, and I'm sure there's other alternatives which you'll be able to get away with if you're doing like one or two songs and you have to have a specific like chorus sound or whatever, but it doesn't have to be particularly fantastic.
Well, I'll tell you what, actually, hang on. If you want it simple, and you want it to like just do exactly what it says on the tin, no menus and that sort of thing, then you could go for the original 4 series. I think they called it the ML4 or something like that.
Yeah. But the problem with that is they're quite cumbersome in terms of their size. They're not as easily picked up as the DL4, which seem to be quite ubiquitous, and they run off a ridiculous power supply. Their power supply was very, very niche.
All of that is valid. Yeah.
Whereas I think.
Although, hang on, the powering of them is supposed to be really, really complex, but it isn't as complex as it makes out on some of those units. So some of them you can actually run, as long as you've got one of the little things to switch it from center positive to center negative, which is just a very short lead, which you can pick up anywhere really. Tesco's or whatever. But you could get it on eBay or whatever. As long as you've got one of them, my synth one, I've got the FM4, that just that'll power. But you are right, and the switches are crap. They busted. There are a lot of people out there modding them. Some people paint them and they look really cool. Like they do like purple knobs and paint them white and stuff. It look really cool. And they put presets on them as well, which is they give you 2 banks of presets because they have presets anyway. But
yeah. I mean, it's a valid alternative, isn't it? Because you, rather than the M5, then having, mind you, it has like bank up and bank down, and you can save, I think, something like 20 odd presets that you can bank through if you know what you need. But
I'd go for the M5. I'd definitely go for the M5 if it was me in that position. I've even thought about buying them before. Haven't they got MIDI as well?
I believe so. Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's your top tip right there. I don't think there's getting much better than that, if I'm honest.
Not at that price point. No.
Right. So
if you went up a bit and you wanted to get something cool, then I would and something newer, then I would say definitely look at the MD200 and the the Wampler Terraform. Yeah, they're not budget, but they're not like break the bank either.
And within that kind of price point as well, you've got the Xander Junipero as well, haven't you?
Yes, you do. Yep. Yeah, that's very good. Although I haven't had that one. I've owned the other 2, and they were fantastic. I just didn't need them because I got that bad boy, the GT1000 Core, which is way above that price point. That is like top of the range.
Yeah, and same with I think the HX Effects is kind of knocking on 300 quid, which by that point, it's no longer budget friendly, is it? Let's face it. So our next caller is Peter C. Romano. This is a nice, simple one. He said, I work at a place where I require boots, essentially. And then when I come home and play my pedals, they're really cumbersome for switching between pedals with boots on. Does anyone else find this problem?
Take your fucking boots off, man.
I mean, alternatively, like toppers,
barefoot buttons, or a switcher.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, or a switcher with toppers.
Yeah. Hey, there you go.
There you go. There you go.
4.
That's it. Knock that one out of the park. Vince,
stupid question.
Vince Lipone said, "What is your favourite overdrive pedal, and why is it the Boss SD one?" It's bold of you to assume there, but I'll say the SD one it's a good solid overdrive. It's good, it's solid. It's not my favourite, but I could easily gig with that. So what is your favourite overdrive pedal?
Me?
Yeah.
Best overdrive I've turned on for wow, that's amazing, and run it for a very long time. And it's the pedal that stayed on my boards for the longest was the original Brexit pedal.
That's more of a distortion, though, isn't it? That's a distortion because it's very much rat based, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose rats kind of go overdrivey, then they go distortion, then they go fuzz. But okay, all right then. So if we're going for overdrive, okay. Let me have a think.
I mean, I'll let you have the rat. Sorry, the BNB.
No, it wasn't a BNB back then. It wasn't a BNB. It was the Brexit meets Brexit.
Yeah, I'll let you have that. But if you can think of one while I'm pontificating over mine, then we'll allow you a little bonus one. Right. So I think I was gonna go for the Antares because it is a really good pedal, but I'm not gonna be carry on blowing smoke up Stu's bottom.
And it's an SD1 as well.
Well, yeah, I mean it's got its basis in those kind of the Japanese tube screamer market, hasn't it? But I'm gonna go with the Hot Toddy by JSA. Because I used that as a preamp for the Pickpocket series because it is so dynamic and so you can get like a really honest guitar tone, the quote unquote transparent tone. But it does that and it like it's really really rewarding to pick responsiveness, which is why I ended up choosing that as my go-to drive. Well, I use actually as a preamp for the Pickpocket series, so I just use that straight into IRs. Don't have any amp sims for it at all.
I think I've got an answer for you.
Go on, what we say?
King of Tone.
Yeah, yeah, okay. That's definitely one, isn't it? So kind of blues breaker inspired.
I really like mine. It's not a proper one. It's the Queen of Bone ones. Annoyingly, Stu built it for me as well. I don't want to kiss his ass, but he built it for me because we both built one. And it was a case of he just got the parts in, but he got all the proper like King of Tone parts. So he got the right bits and pieces for me and put it together, and it's really really good.
Yeah, I can understand that. I've played King of Tone likes, and I think I've still got a Blues Breaker kit that Mr. Chev Toad, Mr. Yeomans, has just left with me. And I've got that kicking around, and that's absolutely ace. So, yeah, I can agree with that. Right, final question. Cole Elvis McRae says he had a spacey ambient reverb that has absolutely shat itself, and he needs to replace it. So it needs to be a reverb. It needs to be under $200, and it needs to be able to do the weird and wonderful and wacky and amazing sounds. None of that, because it could have easily been a Hoff again. This, but I think he's after the more wild and wonderful. And although the Hoff can do it, I don't think that's its strongest suit.
What about that reverb that MXR brought out? I think it was just called the reverb.
And is that got like spacey ambience and stuff?
I can't remember. Let me have a look. It is called reverb. That was a while ago now. Like came out 2016.
Yes.
I'm thinking New Neighbour as well, but I'm not sure how much they go for. But they are very good. Matt got one of them, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
You've got Plate, Spring, Epic. I'm not sure what that says. Oh, Mod. Room and Pad. And I'm guessing Pad and Epic are going to be the sort of big swells and that sort of thing. Now, I can never remember how to spell New Neighbour. But it's New Neighbour Immerse, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe so. Like this is the kind of the area of guitar effects which I tend to shy away from, because I am absolutely zero interested in shimmery, reflecty, wonderful, like spacey verbs. I do, however, recall our Mikey Famiglietti doing quite a few on the YouTube channel, because that is definitely his wheelhouse. And I'm drawing a blank for any of the names, but that is a good place to start if you want to hear what those kind of pedals can do. Can I guarantee that they're going to be under $200? I cannot.
By looks of things, I've only got pounds in front of me, but by looks of things, it's going to be around $200. You can pick them up used for £200, so it's going to be give or take $200. And that's the Immerse, and that's the first one. They're very similar, but the version 2 is just a little bit easier to read, because version 1's got a lot of like lines and writing and stuff like that, whereas the second one's very clear to read. With the writing, it's color coded as well. Immerse Reverberator.
I think it's definitely worth kind of putting our hands up here and saying this is not our strongest suit, is it?
I love it. Honestly, I'm using the Black Hole all the time for this sort of thing. That's basically all the Black Hole does, but it's the price point that's the difficult thing.
How about the Boss units, like the
They don't have a Okay, so the new DD8 has a shimmer delay on it, which you could get away with. The RV6 has a shimmer instead of a modulation on it, but I don't know how good that is. But between that and the RV500, which is obviously more than £200 or $200,
do they not do one between them? Do they not do like a 200?
No, and everyone's asking for it.
Ah, there you go, boss. That's the corner of the market that you need to get.
That's what everyone's been saying. You know, like, where is my RV200?
Yeah. So I think we've given you some kind of starting points to look at, but I think there's definitely more out there. So what you need to do is you need to.
Oh, I've got another one. Sorry, the Specular Reverb. You know, Specular Tempest. What's the name? GFI Systems.
Oh, you're just saying sounds here. I don't know what you're talking about.
You're so out of the wash, the reverb wash.
Right, Grandad.
Yeah, the GFI Systems Specular Reverb. You can pick them up used for around £140. £140. But
there you go.
Yeah, that's an option as well. So yeah, there's some good options there, man.
Right, I've just had a look at the time. We're at about an hour. I reckon we can do one news. One news. What do you want to do? So we've got.
I don't know where I was going with that.
There was a wonderful news jingle there, Lee. I did wonder what you were doing. I thought you were
going to join in.
No, I definitely
join in with like MIDI drums.
Right, so we've got We've got the KHDK My Big Fat Rock. We've got the Kemper Power Cabinet, which is something that's been announced before. I think we've talked about before. And we've got the Ibanez JSM John Schofield. So which do you want to go for?
We're covering the Kemper on the news tomorrow.
Okay.
The KHDK is pissing me off because we can't really have it on Pedalboards of Doom, and it means that we're having to delete posts about it, and it's just more work because it kind of breaks things we're allowed to talk about. It just pisses people off, and we don't want things on there that's going to piss people off. Because what's happening is people are talking about that, and then they're going, "Oh yeah, we're about to pussy melter."
Yeah, it's very much a gateway, isn't it? And to be fair, I can't see much of a difference between that and the pussy melter in terms of like where it's coming from, because it does have a lot of the same kind of the intent behind it as it does. There's not a distinction. The only thing that's different is the people who are promoting it. You've got Fallout Boy chap and a comedian who are championing this rather than a quite controversial faux rock band.
Yeah, it's a bit immature, and for us to say that is a bit hypocritical, I know, but it is a bit. It's a bit silly, isn't it?
I mean, it is what it is. I think, like, dick jokes are, they are quite antiquated, but they are as old as time.
When we do it, it's cute.
Yes, but yeah. So I guess we have to talk about the John Schofield. I like Ibanez.
I quite like John Schofield as well.
I don't really know much of his stuff, but
I mean him, and he's playing. He's pretty cool.
Yeah. So John Schofield, his original signature was released in 2001. He's now doing a 20-year anniversary of that, which is almost Lucille looking. It's gold hardware, gloss ebony finish. It's pretty much standard. It was based on the AS200 shape from Ibanez, so kind of 335 inspired.
He's totally not the person I thought he was.
You're thinking Matt Schofield?
Absolutely, I was.
There you go. So maple top, top, back and sides, mahogany neck, ebony board. I assume it'll probably have a mahogany center block as well. Ebony board, 22 fret, very kind of Gibson inspired. But it looks really cool.
Nice.
Yeah. Look, it's got that kind of classy BB King Lucille look, hasn't it? I prefer it over because his original model that has been going since 2001 was in like a violin sunburst. Just looked a bit plain. Wasn't really ticking any boxes for me.
Even though this one is technically more plain.
Yeah, yes.
But I know what you mean, though.
Yeah. It's like, for me, I was over sunburst kind of 2 or 3 years after playing guitar. That being said, I've got like two sunburst models.
Unfortunately, never got over torque guards, did you?
Nope, torque guards are the best. They are the best, and they make sunburst models look really cool. So, fun fact.
Are you broken?
Dude, no, I'm doing that. No, so, fun fact: when I was buying my Variax, I wanted the plain white one, but when I come to buy it, they'd sold out. So I thought, okay, I've got a choice of the Sunburst one and the black one. I'll go for the Sunburst one. It was an extra 50 quid more. I was like, you know what? Fuck that. I'll go for the black one. It was my last choice, absolute last choice. But I love it so much now that it's like the first guitar that I will reach for. And I don't resent it for being not the white one or the Sunburst one.
Let me ask you a question. I'm looking here. You've got the JSM 20TH and the JSM 20. What's the difference? What's the TH for?
The humbucker. So there you go. The humbucker. It's got
both humbuckers.
But that one's got the humbucker. The other ones are just some standard humbuckers.
Oh, this one says made in Japan. Hang on. Is the other one made in Japan? No. Okay, so the TH is... Obviously, TH stands for made in Japan. Of course it does.
Yeah, made in Japan. Of course.
The pan.
Fantastic. The pan. Oh, dear. Yeah, so I've been aware of this John Scofield model, I think, since 2001, when I used to go to guitar shops and get the Ibanez catalogue and then take it home and thumb through it and lust after all the Ibanez models. I've been quite an Ibanez fanboy over the years, and although that love has dwindled somewhat, they still hold a fondness in my heart, and I remember seeing these in the catalogue when they were new. So
I've been looking at these Trini Lopez 335s.
Okay.
Have you seen them?
Yeah, with the diamond F-hole.
Yeah, a contradiction in terms, really, but I know exactly what you mean. They are so nice. They're so expensive. But
yes, they are, yes.
God,
Dave Grohl, damn you.
Yeah. I was... so my mate bought one of the Epiphone ones recently.
Okay, yeah.
And I just looked at it and I was like, I really want that Dave Grohl one. I really like the colour of the Dave Grohl one, which is like a pale blue.
Yeah, it's metallic pelham blue, is it, or something like that?
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. And, I've loved that guitar for ages, and I thought, I'm going to look up how much they are. They're like fucking 12 grand.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, God, they need to do an Epiphone version. If they do that, I'll buy one.
I think Harley Benton do a like.
I'm not being funny,
actually,
but I want the Gibson one. As far as down from that I would go is probably the Epiphone. I don't think I'd go down for a guitar like that could really get messed up quite easy, because I wouldn't go for Harley Benton. I nearly bought a 7-string Harley Benton recently, and I was reading so many reviews about them being not that great in terms of like, oh, I got it and it was unplayable, and I took it to the tech and the tech said I had to return it and stuff like this. I was just like, God. I even emailed Harley Benton saying, look, if I order one, can you make sure that you get a really good one over to me, because I will review it? And they were like, oh no, we can't do anything special for you. So, all right, fuck you. So, I'm just asking for a guitar that works.
Yeah. Yeah, is that too much to ask? I think an alternative as well. I think Vintage do one along those lines and in the colour, I believe. But
do they? Because I've played some really nice vintage guitars before.
Yeah, they are unsung heroes, I think, for the kind of budget end. They very much rival the Epiphone market and that kind of end of the spectrum.
When you search for vintage,
yes, it's very difficult. You type in vintage guitars into Google, and
you're paying a lot of money.
Yeah. Oh, you'd like a vintage Trini Lopez? Of course. Oh, yeah. I've had that problem too. JHS. Type in vintage JHS. John Hornby Skews. And it'll come.
I know some people who work there.
However, instead of like following you along on this Google journey. We are going to end the podcast. You can do this on your own damn time.
It's called a VSA 540 semi-acoustic. It's got the Fender-style headstock. I think if this is affordable, I might get one.
They definitely are. I think they're about 400 quid, aren't they?
2015. I'll have a word because that's bang on.
There you go.
Yeah.
Making dreams come true. Eh?
It's not quite the right colour, but I do.
Yeah. It will scratch the itch, and it's definitely not 12 grand. Right, let's wrap up a podcast, mister. What do we usually do? We give a shout out to our Patreon backers who are amazing. You are the best. And if you want to be one of these cool kids, the cool kids, for as little as $2 a month, you can be part of the crew. And those people we are giving a special shout out to are as follows: Mr. Andrew Bimson, Mr. Adam Yeomans of Chef Tone Effects, Mr. Doug Christ of 37 Effects, and Masters of the Cinematic Universe podcast.
Woo.
We have got Hugh G. Rection. Have we really? I think Lee's got Wood.
All the time.
We have got Mr. Ben Fletcher of Fletcher Pickups. And we have got Brian Gower of the Tone Jerks podcast. Just a little shout out to Mr. Fletcher. By the time this podcast comes up, you will have seen a little teaser for something that's coming up between the Fret Talk podcast and Fletcher Pickups. There is a little celebration celebrating 5 years of Fletcher Pickups, and that will be all announced very, very shortly. But you'll notice that teaser coming up on my Instagram possibly last week when this airs. So click on that, have a look. You definitely need to be following Fletcher Pickups on Insta and Facebook, because that's where it go down. So just make sure you are abreast of the situation, because it's a big one. Right. Myself, if you want to catch me online, you go BudgetPedalChap. So it's Facebook, it's Instagram, and it's YouTube/BudgetPedalChap. And YouTube is the home of the No Talk Tone series. And Lee, you are Pedalboards of Doom. Pretty much everything. So we've got Facebook, we've got YouTube, we've got Instagram. Like the Facebook group is one of the biggest guitar groups on Facebook, and it's just like, it astounds me at how awesome it is. Like I say, the Pedalboards Opinion News stuff is all from Pedalboards of Doom group.
Listen, I look at it multiple times a day, and I hadn't seen any of those questions. So yeah, really good. We are the biggest pedal forum, and by far the most active in the world. Boom! Take that
here first.
And put it up your sleeve and keep it for later. I don't know what I'm talking about. Now I'm tired.
That's the reason why we are ending this podcast. Right,
I tell you what, we forgot to mention that if you do like rats and those sort of things, the 1981 Inventions DRV, which is a well-known pedal out there, really, really classic pedal, just launched out on Tonepedia. Go and try it, and my advice is to compare it against the 1987 Rat that's on there, which is mine, and I'll just sort of like get that in there, and the Ratsbane, and have a bit of fun with it. It's and if you're on the Tonepedia newsletter, there'll be a special on rats tomorrow.
Ooh, there you go. And how does one get on the Tonepedia newsletter? Is it like a sign up that you do on the Tonepedia website?
Yeah, you can do it from the home screen.
Well, There you go. There you go. So, that will be it for this week. Thank you for joining us on this podcast journey. You are definitely one of the cool kids. If you've made it this far, go into the Fret Talk podcast group and leave us a message saying, what are they saying, Lee?
Sorry, I weren't listening.
There we go. Sorry, I weren't listening. So you leave that comment in the Fret Talk podcast group. We know that you've made it to the end of the podcast. You cool dudes and dudettes. So, from myself, Mr. Budget Pedal Chap, from Lee, padabadabadabadabadabadoo. Say bye, Lee.
Bye-bye, everyone.
It will be a tatty bye and good night for this week. Ta-ra a bit. Bye.
Bye.
See you later. My girlfriend tried to make me have sex with her on the hood of a Honda Civic, but I refused. If I'm going to have sex, it's got to be on my own accord.
That is funny because I know cars and I know Hondas and I like Hondas. Hondas make my favourite motorbikes.
Indeed. The CRB and all that jazz.
CBR.
CRB, BBR.
I had a Blackbird, which was a CBR 1100 XX, and it was fast as fuck, and it was tuned, and it would do 200 odd miles an hour. It was so fast.
Yes.
Yes. Let's end the podcast.
Yes. Let's do this.